ऊपर प्रेयर कर रहे हैं प्रेयर के लिए बैठा है God will listen, joy is here. Hey Joy.
Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to start with a small concept, something that I learned and I'm using, and it's really helped me. And I'm sure if you guys use it, it'll help you as well. Is that okay? Yeah? All right, so I learned it from an author called Derek Sivers. Now, here's what he says. He says, our lives are very, very busy today. It's very, very scattered. It's because we say yes to a whole lot of things. Agree? Yeah? Now, I'm not going to teach you the art of saying no. That's already taken. But I will teach you the art of saying yes. Okay? Now, here's what I do. So every time I'm confronted with a situation where I have to choose between yes and no, I have to choose between yes and no, I don't say yes until it's a hell yes. What is it? Okay, so there's a difference. Yeah, you see, yes, jo hai, is to please others. Hell yes, it's to please yourself. Yeah, it comes from the heart and it ignites your passion. You guys want to try this? Yes. I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see if you say a yes or a hell yes. Are you ready? Do you guys want to get ahead in life? Yes. Okay, thoda passion kam tha. Here's what I do. Whenever I say hell yes, mutti bana leta hu, and then whatever I find, okay, do this little slowly, okay, to my mind. Yeah? So, hell yes. You want to do that? Okay, so I'm going to ask questions again. Yeah? Okay, make a fist, bang on the table and say hell yes. Whatever you get. Okay, ready for the question? Do you love your in-laws? Okay, sorry. I asked, do you love your in-laws? Okay, anyway, so scratch that, we'll start again. Do you guys want to be successful? Yes. Do you believe learning one more skill can take you that much closer to success? Yes. Do you believe as trainers you have to be great storytellers? Yes. Are you all willing to learn the art of immersive storytelling? Yes. Then let's get started. Welcome once again, my name is Joy De Silva. I'm introducing myself this time. Okay, so very warm welcome to all of you, and special thank you for all those who came from the weekday batches. Revati, thank you so much. Ashish, thanks so much. I guess you must have read the teasers. This is only going to be a seminar, okay? This is only going to be a seminar, and I have one disclaimer. Anyone notice anything odd about me? What do you want me to do? Really? Yeah? You want me to please sit down? Okay, I'll do it. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Put your bags down. Okay, so let me explain this. We all come with baggage. Yeah, so we all have these preconceived notions, assumptions, what's right, what's wrong, kya chalega, kya nahi chalega. I need you to lay them down. Is seminar say if you want any takeaways, you'll have to start with a blank slate. Fair? Now do you get the idea? Hell yes. Okay, great. So let's do a little activity, shall we? Yeah? Okay, this stop working. Okay, here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to tell you three stories. I'm going to tell you three stories back to back. I'll pause for about 15-20 seconds in between the stories. I need you to reflect and write down whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. Simple? Everyone understood the instructions? I'm going to tell you three stories, all back to back, but I will pause between the stories, and I will give you time to reflect and write down whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay? You can write down what you feel. Did you love the story? Did you find it funny? Did you find it encouraging? Did you find it motivating? Did it make you sleepy? Whatever it feels. Okay, so are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, everyone got a pen and paper handy? Okay, so here we go, okay? Story number one. All right, so I love movies, okay? And I take a lot of inspiration from movies. They have a different kind of an effect on me. I especially love the action movies. They get me involved, and they keep me involved long after the movie is over. So a few years ago, I went to see Mission Impossible 2 with my friends after work. Great movie, lovely action sequences, some edge of the seat thriller. I really loved it. The adrenaline was rushing in my veins. And once I got out, it wasn't over. I felt like Tom Cruise. I wanted my very own Mission Impossible. Guess who calls? My wife. Okay, so my wife called and she's like, where are you? You were supposed to pick me up like 30 minutes ago. And I checked my watch and she's right, so that movie was longer than I anticipated. So here's what I tell her. I tell her, you know what, just stay put. I will pick you up in 5. I will pick you up in 5. Now, she's at BKC, I'm at Lower Parel. Those days, average traffic time, or peak hour traffic that too, is about 30 minutes. I promised 5. I've got my very own Mission Impossible. Yeah? Okay, so here's what I do. The very first thing that I do is, I go into my watch and I set my timer for 5 minutes. Ready? Okay, so the timer is on. I tell my friends I have to rush. Bye-bye, I'll see you all another time. And I run towards the elevator. Now, I've got to dodge a whole lot of people, okay? And these people, you ever notice how people in the mall, they all walk at the same pace? All of them, they're all walking at the same pace. It's not easy for me to dodge them, but I still somehow manage. I get to the elevator. There's a long list of people, okay? There's plenty of people already waiting for the elevator. So now I have to pretend like it's an emergency. So I take my phone and then I pretend, oh, okay, no, you take her to the hospital, and I'm trying to move closer to the gate, yeah? So, yeah, you take her to the hospital, I'll see you there. No, I'm leaving right now. Is she hurt very badly? Oh, okay. Is she bleeding? No, I'll get you there. So that is how I managed to squeeze myself in. I get into the elevator. And you guys heard of Murphy's Law? Have you guys heard of Murphy's Law? Yes. And this is Murphy's Law in action right now. You seem to be bored with the move. You seem to be bored with the story already. We're just getting started. Okay. So this is Murphy's Law in action right now, okay? I wanted to get to the 5th floor. That's where my car is parked, and everything is working against me. So they've pressed all the buttons, and this elevator is going to stop at all the floors. So I have nothing else to do but to observe how slowly the elevator doors open and close. Yeah, that's what you do most of the time, isn't it? So I'm finally managed to get onto the 5th floor. I run in, I get into my car, and here's what I do, okay? Now, I'm in the car. I should be driving off, right? Yeah, but I'm not. You know why? The adrenaline is wearing off. I'm not in the mood. I need to get that adrenaline rush again. So here's what I do, okay? I go into my glove box. I pull out my glares. I put them on. Okay, I go into my phone, unlock it, find Hans Zimmerman, find the song. And then I start bobbing my head. Time is running. I need to get in the mood. I do that for a while. I enjoy it. And then I start, okay? So, ignition, gear, breakdown, accelerator. I'm now out of the parking zone. Now, nothing can stop me, okay? Because I'm feeling very, very good. I see a speed breaker. I don't slow down. Nothing can stop me. I go over the speed breaker. My car bounces. I bounce. I hit my head on the roof. What do I need? My seat belt. Yeah, I haven't worn my seat belt. So I start pulling the seat belt towards me. I pull it with both hands. You know why? Look, no hands moment. I want people to see me. Yeah, so it goes like this. Yeah, and then towards the distance from afar, I can see a man trying to pull out of his parking zone. I don't want him to slow me down. So what I would do? I rush. I step on the gas and I honk. And I zip through, narrowly missing him. I check out from my rearview mirror. I want to see his reaction. The man goes, Ben Stokes. But anyways, now I have to go down 5 floors, okay? And it's a viral, it's a sharp turn. So I go down the 5th floor, I go down the 4th floor, and I'm leaning more than I should. You know why? Yeah, because I'm in the mood. Yeah, so I'm 5th, 4th, 3rd. I have to slow down now. There's a car right in front of me. I can't go left, I can't go right. Yeah, on a closer look, there's a woman driving that car. Now, I don't have anything against women driving cars, but you know what? The only thing more dangerous than a woman at home is a woman behind the wheel. Okay, sorry, I'll take that back. But anyways, I slow down, I have to match her pace. I get to the ground floor. I find enough space. I overtake her. When I overtake her, I take a glance. Is she good looking? No, only the car is good looking. Anyway, so I now go ahead and I see a few pretty girls coming my way. Now those girls are pretty, so I have to slow down. Excuse me, check me out. Now I've slowed down and I can see 2 exits. There's 1 car, there's 3 cars. I should be going in the car with 1, yeah, but the lady who was driving slow all this while manages to zip right through. She's now speeding and she goes and waits in that queue. So I have no choice, I take the longer queue. Finally my turn comes, I'm ready with my parking ticket. I had pulled it out of my wallet. When the guard looks at my parking ticket, he says, "Sir, ye to PAN card hai." I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. So I go back into my wallet, I can't find my parking ticket. Yeah, the guard is wicked. You know what he tells me? Sir, chashma nikal ke dekho na, waise bhi raat ke 8 baj rahe hain. I go, Ben Stokes. Anyway, so I managed to get out and I finally managed to go out and join the big swarm of traffic leading to PKC. Okay, so that is the end of story number 1. If you guys thought I was going to make it in 5 minutes, okay, like I said, reflect and write down whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. Reflect, write down whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind. Shall we continue?
Yes.
Okay, here's story number 2, okay? We'll mellow down a little. ठीक है ना? ठीक है ना?
Yes.
Okay, so there's this author, okay, he used to take his daily walk in a park, and one fine day he happened to encounter a little girl, and she was crying inconsolably. So apparently it so happens that this little girl, she had lost her favorite doll. So this author offers to help her, and he says, you know what, it's a big park, it's going to take time. I'll look for your doll, and if I happen to find it, I'm going to meet you here, same place, same time tomorrow. Is that okay? The girl says okay. The author is not able to find the doll. But being an author, he decides to compose a nice little letter from the doll and give it to that little girl. And that's exactly what he does. He meets the girl the next day. He says, you know what, sorry, I couldn't find your doll. But here's what I found. A letter addressed to you. I believe it's from the doll. Why don't you read it? So the girl reads that little letter, okay? And it says, please do not mourn me. I have gone on a trip to see the world. I will write to you of my adventures. The little girl is comforted, and that starts a chain of letters between this author and this girl. So every time they meet, this author composes a letter, gives it to the girl, and she is very, very happy. She's very, very delighted. He writes to her of all the lovely, fascinating adventures of this particular doll. And when the time comes to depart, the author decides to give her a replacement doll. Original doll to Henny, so replacement doll. So he buys her a replacement doll, gives it to the girl along with a note. The note says, my travels have changed me. My travels have changed me. Many years later, this girl is now all grown up, but she still has the doll. She's looking at the doll one fine day, and she finds another note hidden in the crevice of this doll. And this note in summary says, everything you love, you will eventually lose. Everything you love, you will eventually lose. But love will return in one form or the other. Okay? That's story number 2. Reflect. Pause, reflect, write down what you think. Everything you love, you will eventually lose. Love will return in one form or the other. Are we ready for story number 3? Okay, this is a cricketing story, and Ashish, please don't challenge me, okay? Okay, so here we go, okay? Some people are still writing. All right, so it's a cool March afternoon, Okay, at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru, yeah, Chinnaswamy Stadium. It's around 2004. India is playing Pakistan in a test series, and Anil Kumble just achieved the magical number of his 450th test wicket. Yeah, test wicket number 450. Okay, now there's a press conference that happens at the end of the match, yeah, with the two captains. So Inzamamul Haq, captain spiritual, with a deadpan face that conceals a devilish mind and an incredible comic timing, is sitting at the podium. One reporter has a question. Inzi bhai, Anil Kumble just got his 450th test wicket. Do you think that makes him a truly great bowler? So Inzamam slowly looks up, takes a little yawn, all very deliberate, and says, I thought he was great at 449 also. That is story number 3. Pause, reflect, write down. Some of you just didn't get the story, okay? So this is all a learning, okay? You will not get the story, so which is why we'll come later. Debriefing is going to be very, very important. Everyone done? Okay, so we'll come back to whatever you've written, your thoughts a little later. But like I said, this is a seminar on storytelling. Now, I looked up all the definitions of storytelling. There are too many complicated definitions, but I went ahead and simplified it, and this is what I found, okay? So a story has to tick one of these two boxes. Anything that grabs attention and anything that makes you feel something. Grabs attention and makes you feel something. The 3 stories that I told you, did it grab attention? Yes or a hell yes?
Hell yes.
Okay. Did it make you feel something?
Hell yes.
Hell yes. Okay, great. Now, I'll elaborate on these 2 points. Okay, I said 1, grabs attention. One of my teasers said, the only thing your audience comes with is a short attention span. Can anyone take a guess here? What is the attention span of an average human being? 7 minutes, okay? Anyone else? Take a guess. 4 minutes. 1 minute, okay? 30 seconds. Okay, stop. Stop. So you guys are right. Different studies have given a different time, okay? So it varies between 18 seconds to 13 and a half minutes. But we'll go with what Snehal said in her presentation. She said every individual checks his phone every 5 minutes. Yeah? On a higher side, 10 minutes. So let's say 10 minutes is the average attention span. So we'll go with your theory. Is that okay? Yeah, so imagine 10 minutes में अगर आपने उसको कहानी नहीं बताई तो क्या होगा? Yeah, he'll check his phone, or the doctors here would agree. Doctors here would agree. Yes, your body is equipped to take care of yourself. Yes, your body is equipped to take care of yourself. You are not doing the storytelling, so the mind starts doing the storytelling, which is otherwise called daydreaming. So you have your audience who's sitting right in front of you. You are not telling stories, so he's telling stories to himself. Now you have to compete with somebody even better than you. Yeah? So that's grabs attention. Very, very important. Is your story grabbing attention? Second, makes you feel something. Now look at all the notes that you've written. All those 3 stories, okay? We had a mix of emotions. I told you 3 very, very different stories. Where is Gurup? Gurup is not here today? Okay, she said, how many emotions? Last week. 3,000 emotions in the dictionary. 3,000. I don't know all 3,000, but here's what I've done, okay? I've filtered them. Stories will either make you happy, they'll make you laugh, they'll make you cry, they'll make you sad. You will empathize with the person, or they might make you feel good. Yeah, these are the ones that inspire you, encourage you, motivate you to take action. But I like the 4th kind of story. The 4th kind of story, the ones that actually make you think. Yeah, the one that challenge your assumptions. Yeah, the one that changes your perspective. There is a knock on the door. एक 10 साल का बच्चा जाके दरवाज़ा खोलता है, उसकी माँ पूछती है बेटा कौन है? तो वो बच्चा बोलता है कचरा वाला. To which the mother says, नहीं बेटे, कचरे वाले तो हम हैं, वो सफाई वाला है. Anything that challenges your perspective. Last week I had to go meet a friend, okay? His name is Asif Ibrahim. Sridhar knows him too, okay? Great guy. Now, here's why I called him, okay? So he knows a lot of people from the training fraternity. He actually runs a training fraternity of his own. So I told him, you know what, I want to meet you. He said, why don't you come over? There is an event happening which is called the LinkedIn Local. It is happening at Car Social. You come over, I'll introduce you to some guys. I said, great, I'm going to come over. So I finished the session here and I ran straight to Car Social and I met Asif. And he's now introducing me to all of the leading and famous people in the L&D, okay? So different industries, but one common thread, they're all from training and all from L&D. And Asif Ibrahim is like, hey, meet Joy. You know, Joy is a great guy, man. Joy is a great guy. He's super awesome. Yeah, he's simply cool, man. I've seen his work. Yeah, I love his work. You'll be surprised. You should work with him. I was kind of flattered by the words that he actually used. He's never worked with me, although I've met him a few times. Yeah, but he went ahead and introduced me like I am the super guy right there. So I was very, very happy. And as I continued to talk to those people, Asif moved a little ahead. He moved a little ahead. He's now introducing somebody else to another group of people. Hey, meet this guy. You know what? He's great. He's super awesome. I've seen his work. He's surprised me. You should work with him. He's using exactly the same words that he used for me. मेरे दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? Ben Stokes. I'm like, what a phony, man. What a phony. Anyways, so that is done. I reach home. And I have some me time, okay? What I usually do in me time is random things. So I pick up Amazon Prime and I go into some web series. And it's about a woman who's very, very happy because she has everything. She has everything, okay? She's rich. Yeah, she doesn't have to work. She's got a great looking husband. She's got 2 kids. And like I said, she's super rich, okay? And so when she steps out on the street, everybody is smiling at her. Everybody is greeting her. She walks ahead. There are women who are actually singing and dancing. She walks ahead. There are men who are chatting and laughing. The birds are chirping. Everything is great. And then towards the end of the show, her life is changed. Okay, so her marriage is broken. Her husband leaves her for somebody else. And she comes out. She walks on the same street again. But you know what? This time, everybody is avoiding her. Those women, they're fighting. The men, they're cursing and abusing. And the birds are not chirping. So here's what I do. I pause and I reflect. Now, hold on. What is the story here? Yeah? So you realize what happened with Asif Ibrahim. Asif Ibrahim is calling everyone awesome because he is awesome. Who you are is what you see in others. Who you are is what you see in others. So because you are awesome, you find everybody else awesome. Perspective changing stories. Agree? Yeah? One of my favorite movies is Fight Club. Anyone seen the movie? Not the Hindi one, English movie, Fight Club. Yeah? You saw amazing movie, yeah? It challenges everything that we do. Everything that we do. Yeah, it's mostly about consumerism. He says today we hoard a lot of things. We buy a whole lot of things. Yeah, we just buy the new stuff, the pretty stuff, and we don't even discard the old stuff. It's all lying there. Sab kuch hai hamare paas. You don't realize the things you own start owning you. The things you own start owning you. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. So these are the kind of stories that I really like, and these are the kind of stories that really impact people. They can be really, really life-changing. Okay, so that is my funda of what is the story all about. But we'll go ahead and answer the all-important question of why you should be doing storytelling. Okay, so like Jyoti sir said, remember Simon Sinek, start with why. So why is storytelling important for you? And I'm going to highlight some of these qualities right here. Okay, so 3 qualities that you should have as a trainer, and if you're telling stories particularly. 1, be authentic. Yeah, please try and tell your own stories. They are the best stories. People haven't heard those stories. I'll tell you, I went for a storytelling session about 2 years ago, okay? 2 years ago, storytelling session. This guy is very, very famous. He's got 100,000 Instagram followers. 100,000 Instagram followers, and that room was full. Now I'm sitting there right up front, waiting eagerly, what is he going to tell us? And guess what is the story that he starts with? This is the same story which is used in 90% of all trainings. This is how they start. Anyone wants to take a guess? Anyone wants to take a guess? No? No, this is for the adult crowd. So, So the most common story, and I'm sure it'll come back to you, is a university professor who goes to a Zen master and he says, I want to learn the art of Zen. Yeah, but here's what I know. And then he starts boasting about all the knowledge that he has. He's a professor, right? He's got all this worldly knowledge. He goes on and on and on and on. He just doesn't stop. What does the Zen master do? He goes to the table, he takes a kettle, and he starts pouring tea into the cup. Yeah, so the tea is filled right up to the brim. He doesn't stop. He keeps pouring, and it starts overflowing. That is when the university professor is like, what are you doing? That cup can't hold anymore. And the master says, exactly, your cup cannot hold anymore. Keep your cup half empty. That is the message. I'm surprised you guys haven't heard this, but I was lucky. I attended a whole lot of trainings, and this happened to be the story that this guy started with. I'm like, what a cliche, man. What a cliche. I mean, at least as a storyteller, I understand some messages are going to be the same, yeah? But at least you can modify them. Can you modify it? Can you modify it? I modified it this morning. How did I modify it? How did I modify it? What did I do? Yeah? Same message. Keep your cup half empty. Or settle your bags down. Same thing, yeah? Okay, I'll tell you what we suffer from, okay? It's something called as a lamppost error. A lamppost error, and I'll tell you what that is. So I'm sure you must have heard of this story when you were young, okay? There's a drunk who's lost his keys, and he's looking for them under a lamppost, under a street light. You know why? Because the light is better there. And that is the problem that we all face. We're looking for stories, we want to tell stories, but we're looking in the most common places. And guess what? Everybody has been there. Today, if you receive a story on WhatsApp, if you have already read this story, you wouldn't read it again, and you wouldn't even bother forwarding it. And yet we use those same stories in our sessions. Ashish told us one joke twice. He told us the same joke twice. Yeah, so the first time we laughed, the second time nobody laughed. He said, if you don't laugh at the same joke, okay, what's the point of saying it again? You know? Yeah, I'm saying if you repeat the same story, where is the impact going to come from? Where is the impact going to come from? So we need to be authentic. We need to have our own stories. Revati said something really beautiful. She said, life is not random. Life is not random. So how can your stories be random? You know? Yeah? Another problem that we have is our stories are not consistent with the theme. Hum pada kuch rahe hain and our stories are completely different. So we could be doing time management and we're talking about Elon Musk and space travel. Yeah, doesn't match because time is totally relative in space. The final one, and since Manoj sir already covered a whole lot of it, you need to customize your content, which he did in this morning. Your content and your stories have to be relevant to the audience. Now remember, your audience will be all from different industries, right? If you're doing a public workshop like this, there's somebody from finance, there are doctors sitting here, there are MBAs and there are CEOs. You have a mix of different kinds of people. So you need to make your stories relevant to them. Can you make your stories relevant to them? Yes, you can. Everybody loved Dr. Wallabh's presentation last week. Great presentation. A round of applause for him. Super presentation. He showed us what, 123 MRI machines in 40 minutes? Yeah, approx that. Yeah? So anyways, so towards the end of his presentation, here's what he said, okay, and I really loved it. He said, the most difficult part of his job, there was this 4-year-old boy who was suffering from brain tumor. Yeah, 4-year-old boy suffering from brain tumor. And the toughest part of his job was breaking that news to his parents. I'll tell you, there were doctors who had an even major problem, a problem bigger than that. How do you get a 4-year-old into the MRI machine in the first place and tell him, you know what, do not move for the next 20 minutes? Yeah, and this is how they went ahead and solved the problem. Yeah, so they made the MRI machine look like one giant boat. They made it look like one giant boat. They painted it into a giant boat. This is an MRI machine, by the way, okay? And here's what the doctors told the kids. Hey, you know what? We'll play hide and seek. We'll play hide and seek. This is your boat. Okay, now the pirates are after your boat. Pirates are coming. And they have guns, and they have grenades, and they have daggers, and they have swords. Tumko chupna padega. Isme chupna padega. Okay? And if the pirates see you, they will find you and then they will kill you.
तो छुपना पड़ेगा, you shouldn't move, do not move. And I will keep an eye on the pirates. With my telescope, I'm going to keep an eye on the pirates. Once they're gone, I'll whistle. So that's how you will know, okay, you're safe and you can come out. Are you ready? And the kids were excited. Yes, 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 I want to play. And some kids volunteered to play it a second time as well. Storytelling coming as a solution. Yeah? I'm going to give you more examples. We'll move into marketing and sales. Now here's what Starbucks went ahead and did, okay? They do not go ahead and advertise themselves to be selling the best coffee in the world. They advertise themselves to be the best customer service in the world, the best customer experience in the world. Okay, what do you do at a Starbucks? You just go there, unwind, relax, and socialize. What do? You have a chair, nice chair, you can relax on the chair, you chat on the phone, or you can go out and talk to your friends, you can work on your laptop, you can look out the window, and by the way, you can have coffee as well. So the coffee comes at the end. They give a very beautiful visual picture, a story to the customer of how beautiful this place is going to be. Because that's how they strategized it in the very first place. They said Starbucks is going to be a place between work and home. So you have work, Starbucks, home. I'm going to tell you some more. McDonald's, okay? So you will have CEOs and you'll have executives in your public workshops, and guess what they have to do? They have to do presentations, they have to do reviews, lot of numbers, very, very boring numbers. They can use storytelling in their numbers as well. Here's what McDonald's did, okay? So they wanted to tell that they've sold so many million burgers and they've dispensed so many gallons of ketchup. You know how they put it across? They said, if the burgers that we sold, if you have to go ahead and stack them one over the other, they'll stretch from the earth all the way up to the moon. And the entire ketchup, okay, the amount of ketchup that we have dispensed, it can fill up the Mississippi River. That is how they went ahead and gave them a visual picture. Storytelling on data. You know this man? Okay, so Steve Jobs, we all know he was kicked out of Apple. And then what did he do? He started Pixar. Yeah, where he was surrounded by storytellers. And then when he came back to Apple, what did he bring back with him? Storytelling. Yes, he used storytelling just about everywhere, whether it is marketing or whether it's sales. You know what? Apple was not the first company to go ahead and launch an MP3 player, right? Yeah, the iPod. They were not the first ones. But Steve Jobs was the very first one to go ahead and say, you know what? Here is an iPod. You have 5,000 songs in your pocket. You now have 5,000 songs in your pocket. This guy never used numbers anywhere. You look at all his presentations, all his product launches, he never used numbers. He launched the MacBook Pro. You know what he said? It is so thin, you can pull it out of an envelope. And that is exactly what he did. He called for the product, he called for the device. It comes to him in an envelope, and he pulls it out like this. Imagine selling a product without giving any specifications at all, using nothing but storytelling. As parents, are you using storytelling? You know, your children actually crave stories. They crave stories. And since you're too busy, okay, where do they get those stories from? Shin-chan, Augie and the Cockroaches, Peppa Pig. Yeah, so that's what happens. You're not giving time. You're not actually telling them stories. And trust me, I don't know, I couldn't sit through, 5 minutes of that Augie and the Cockroaches. It is such utter nonsense. Such utter nonsense. I don't know, does it come in English? Because I saw the one in Hindi. And it was so disgusting. I mean, you guys are so much better storytellers than all of this. Okay, so that is how you can make it relevant to your audience. You have different audience, doesn't matter. Storytelling is one thread which will connect your audience. I want to move on, and I want to tell you what is going to get covered in the workshop. Okay, so remember, this is only a seminar. I need you guys to enroll for the workshop, which is coming up in December. What are we going to cover? Two things. One is content, the other is process. What is content? Bolna kya hai? What is the story? Yeah, so you'll be doing a whole lot of story writing. Process, bolna kaise hai? How do you deliver? The narration, which is also very, very important. I'll give you a one very classic example, okay? The other day my sister was watching Comedy Nights with Kapil. This is a few months back, okay? She was watching Comedy Nights with Kapil. And she had Salman Khan on the show. Not she, he had Salman Khan on the show with his brothers, okay? I hate Salman Khan, by the way, never seen his movie. Never paused and reflected on Salman Khan's movies. But anyway, that's a different story. Yahan pe, for the very first time, he said something really, really intelligent. He said, Sholay, the movie was co-written by his father. The movie Sholay was co-written by Salman's father, Salim. Salim. Yeah, so he said, there were some things which were very, very simple, very, very plain, very, very silly. Very, very silly. For example, अगर कोई मार खा के आता है, तो पहला सवाल तो यही है ना कि कितने आदमी थे? कितने आदमी से मार खा के आया? That is the first question. But imagine the narration of Amjad Khan. Yeah, कितने आदमी थे? Made it the most iconic dialogue ever. And that is the power of narration. So I'm going to quickly rush through this because I'm running short of time. In content, what you will learn is storyboarding. We'll give you all the elements of a story and we'll tell you how to put them together. We'll give you a framework of how you can go ahead and put that story together. Okay, now remember, storytelling is both a science and an art. It's a science and an art. Science matlab there will be rules. Art matlab break all rules. Okay, and you will learn another important thing, the power of words. Yeah, we all have stories, we just don't have the right words. We don't have the right words. Okay, so for example, I'm sure you must have heard the story. It's about this blind man, yeah, who's sitting outside a church begging, and he's got this hat, okay, and there's a little sign. The sign says, "I'm blind." The sign says, "I'm blind." Nobody's giving him any alms. Nobody is stopping. So one nice, kind gentleman goes ahead and changes his sign. What does it say?
I want to see this beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day and I cannot see it. It's a beautiful day and I cannot see it. People stop, people read, people feel, and people started giving him money. That's the power of words. We'll go over to process. Very, very important. Voice modulation, body language. Kitne aadmi the? That narration is very, very important. And we are not going to call any RJs. We're not going to call any RJs for voice culture. Okay, so we'll use some really good exercises which are used by voiceover artists. Okay, learn how to debrief. Very, very important. That's story number 2. Story number 3, which you did not understand. He said, "I thought he was great at 449." Also, the debriefing was, we are all so obsessed with benchmarks, with numbers. Yeah, why? That's the entire point. 450. How is that even a benchmark? Yeah, 450 only because he broke 434. 434 was the world record. Before that, 450 became an achievement. Somebody thought of adding test hundreds and ODI hundreds so that Sachin Tendulkar make 100 hundreds. उससे पहले कभी नहीं हुआ था. So we create all these benchmarks in our heads and we want to go ahead and achieve those benchmarks. So that's debrief. Power of the pause, again, very, very important. It is the silence between the notes that contain the music. Silence between the notes that contain the music. Pause is very, very important. It actually impacts your entire story. So this is what you will learn. One very important part is, for every 1 hour of theory, there will be 2 hours of practice. 1 hour of theory followed by 2 hours of practice. And you'll get plenty of exercises where, we'll give you the lesson and you'll have to come up with the story. Or we'll give you random words and then you have to form a story. So there's going to be plenty of activities. It's going to be very, very interactive. But this is the most important thing that you will end up with in those 2-day workshop. There will be mental conditioning and you will end up with a story mindset. Yeah, a storyteller mindset. Everywhere that you see, you will do pause and reflect. What is the story? You look at nature. For example, I was watching National Geographic the other day and there's this lion, वो 2 दिन से भूखा है, he's hungry. उसके सामने एक hamster दौड़ रहा है, okay? A hamster is like playing merrily. Now this lion can get up, chase that hamster and eat that hamster, okay, to relieve himself of that hunger. But he doesn't do that. You know why? Do you all know why? Not that he's greedy and he's waiting for a deer or an antelope, none of that. Because imagine he's an animal and he understands the fact that him getting up and chasing that hamster will go ahead and drain the calories. Okay, he'll burn more calories as compared to him getting hold of that hamster and eating it. So whatever the calories are gained is going to be far lesser than the calories that he burns. He understands that. Now I pause and I reflect. Pause and reflect. Look at us, humans. Aren't we doing the exact opposite? We are wasting our time on all the unnecessary, trivial stuff. We are draining our energy. Yeah, when we actually can be focusing on so much more important stuff. So you get it? Yeah, that's a storyteller mindset. You look at nature, you look at people. When we look at people, we form stories in our head. The moment we meet somebody, yeah, we look at them कपड़े कैसे पहने हैं, हाथ कैसे मिलाता है, the first impressions. We're already forming our story, but we'll be able to reject that story and then look for another story. Look for a more interesting story. Look for the more real story. So that is what this workshop is going to be all about. Now, before I end, do you all have any questions about the workshop? No? You want to know the commercials? Paisa kitna lagega? Okay, sometime in December. This is a conceptual workshop. Sometime in December, we'll keep it in the second week of December, and it'll be in Andheri, so it's central for everybody. I'll give you the commercials pretty quick. This is a pilot batch for me. It is the first ever, so it's real cheap. 5,000 rupees for a 2-day workshop plus GST. 5,000 rupees plus GST for a 2-day workshop. And hold on, if you are IATD guy, you get a 10% discount. If you get a non-IATD friend, you get another 10% discount. Yeah, you get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner all inclusive. 2 days workshop, 5,000 rupees. Now remember this. Sorry? Somewhere in Andheri, it's still conceptual. We'll finalize it once we have about 20 people. 20 people? Yeah, 20 people is a good batch size.
More than that. More than that. Now you can enroll for 3,000 to action.
Okay, so any questions on the workshop? Any other questions before I end? No? Okay. So I want to end with one final story, okay? It's about a man named John Wesley. John Wesley, he was the founder of the Methodist Church. And it's very interesting how he found the Methodist Church, okay? So he was part of the Roman Catholic Church, लेकिन उसको Roman Catholic Church का जो teachings था बहुत boring लगता था, okay? बहुत ही useless लगता था. So one fine day he was standing outside the Roman Catholic Church and he started teaching to all those people who were standing outside. And those people listened. Those people liked what they listened. And everybody started gathering around him. And slowly that crowd became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And everybody would stop and everybody would listen to him. And that is how he founded the Methodist Church. Somebody went and asked him, John, how do you manage to do this, man? Just talk to people and they continue to listen to you. Continue to follow every word you say. How do you manage to do that? And he said, all I do is set myself on fire and people come to watch me burn. So my final question to you is, are you ready to set yourselves on fire? Are you ready to set yourselves on fire? Yes. Okay, thank you so much. You can enroll with Sakina.
Worth it now.